So, welcome, my friends. Guided meditation and stress management program coming from the Eastern Wisdom, which is 6,000 years old. We have 3,000 teachers. I've been talking a lot about it too. At least this is a great country, so we should know the authenticity of it. And we have 3,000 texts. Every teacher followed the same fundamentals, but they gave you the different practices. That is what I also gave in this program. Three fundamental principles, rules, all the teachings, the same way as it happens in science. Even though the aim of the science is to find out the truth in the nature, in the physical world, and the goal of Eastern wisdom is to find my true nature. So now see, just think for a while, if my true nature is made up of peace, happiness, wisdom, and love, and I found it. So what is going to happen in day-to-day life? Will there be anxiety? Will there be stress? Will there be problem with the honey? I'm not saying to those who don't have honey. I'm only so you see that? Find out. That is the discovery. That is the goal of mindfulness and meditation. So the way the science follows what it says, here is a law of gravitation. How to get out of the law of gravitation if I have to fly a plane. So then the second part is contemplation. You remove all the doubts, all the errors. So in the same way, the Eastern wisdom has the second principle. It is known in Sanskrit as a manan, contemplation. Why you contemplate on the principles? Because to remove the doubt, all the conflict and confusion. So now the mind has removed all the conflicts and confusion. You are very clear that this is the way the path has to be pursued. You need not to teach your honey, you have to teach yourself. That is very important. And then the third part is regular practice with wisdom, with clear understanding. Having said that, now understand. I always learn from experience. When I give lessons to my students, my friends, my honeys, so I had 4 or 5 private sessions today to take care from anxiety, depression, from couples relationship to substance abuse. At around 5:15 I became free. So I'll not tell the names, but I will explain you. You have to learn from your own experience. So one of my student, now I have lot of anxiety and I was feeling depressed. So I said, what you did? So she answered me, she responded, I did nothing. I said, what should be done? No, because I did nothing, because I was in anxiety. I had a lot of depression. I was feeling negative sensations in the whole body. Come on, my friends. So I said, okay, good. Question is, why you didn't do anything when you have anxiety and stress? Why we did not do it? Now understand the principle. Explained by one master who was a great master, lived about 3,000 years ago, a little before Buddha. He said, why? I'm in pain. And they say, I said, then what you did? I lied down. I said, did sleep come to you? No. I remained awake until midnight. I said, okay. Then what? Then, at last I felt sleep. In the morning, I again felt the same level of anxiety. It is the mental phenomena. First, start with the mind. When the mind is impure, according to our Eastern wisdom, when the mind is impure, what it means by impure? When I desire something outside. When I desire something outside means what? The mind, the very mind declares that I have sense of incompleteness. That's why I desire something from outside. First point. Second, I desire something other than me in order to be happy. That can never be possible. Whether you desire outside your honey, money, car, anything, the happiness will not come. Two points. So now when the mind feels the sense of incompleteness and seeking desire, seeking others, what has happened? The mind is agitated now. The mind remains agitated all the time, 24 hours, which we don't notice. So what happens? That triggering mechanism accumulates lot of impressions of anger and the anxiety and the duality and a conflict. And then someone says you, hey honey, how are you? Stop it. Oh, from where this anger came? It came from that accumulated impressions, unconsciously. Pay attention. This is how the Eastern psychology understands your mind. Not only this. Now the next step, what happens? It impurifies, it makes your intellect also impure. And that is the result. No, I have anxiety, so I did nothing. Why you didn't do anything? You should have done the practice. I told her that I gave you the practice. I gave you the audio file. Why didn't you practice? And normally in a private lesson, I send these audio files to people so that they can do it for about a week and then they return. I customize the practice. Why didn't you do it? Oh, I didn't feel like doing it. Impure intellect. So from impure mind, you lost first step to break it. Moving to the second step, the impure intellect. And now come to the impure ego. Then ego says, another, I learned today from second of my friend. You see that, I have been suffering from depression for the last 10 years. So I asked her, do you need my sympathy? I'm not a person, You can go outside, find out someone who can pay sympathy to you and then come back. We get a sense of ego that you see that, I've been suffering from stress for the last 10 years. What should I do then? Continue to suffer. And this impure ego never tries to understand. And last year, one class, I went for investigation from a neurophysiologist. There was nothing. They didn't find anything. Then I went to a physiologist. They find nothing. Then I went to a psychiatrist, and he also found nothing. Can you tell me what illness I have? I said, no, I cannot tell you. I can only tell you that the peace and happiness are your essential nature. So all these, that is what is known as the mind stuff. So mind has 4 functional aspects. First, it picks up the impurity. Second, then the functional aspect is the intellect, and your intellect justifies the problems. Justifies the problem. You have to get out of it. If you cannot break this, you will continue to suffer. Continue to suffer. God has given you all the suffering. Yeah? God has given you a special treatment. Extraordinary. That's how we experience that impure intellect and the ego says, you see that I'm the guy who is most miserable. What the meditation says, refuse to be miserable. Refuse to be miserable. That is a choice that we have to make. The last client, then I'll tell you. She escaped an accident, but when she started driving from her home to her workplace, and then she started thinking about honey. Honey is such a beautiful word, Huh? So at last, she lost in those negative thoughts, and at last she could save herself from an accident. I said, what happened? Now see the problem and the solution. Our mind and the intellect remains empty when you are driving a car and doing lot of things. So what should we do? The moment you start driving the car, start contemplating. Change the thinking pattern. Now I'm in peace. This beard guy told me that the peace is within me. Let me find out. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. If the happiness is not there. So when you start thinking, so I told her that the moment now you start driving the car, you have to start thinking. Thinking what? Peace and happiness. Not blaming your honey. Not reacting against your honey. So the entire journey of meditation is 24/7. Then only you can live in meditation. Not 1 hour you did it. I'm very good. You are very good. I'm good. It doesn't make any difference to you. I'm bad. It doesn't make any difference to you. Where is the smile? It doesn't make any difference. It will make a difference when you live into that peace and happiness. Mindfulness, meditation, goal is to take a journey to first practice, experience, change your mindset, transform it, so that the time comes when you live in that meditative state 24/7. 24/7. That is the journey of the meditation. So when I read and contemplate on the principles of the Eastern psychology, I have reasons to believe, because it has been evolved for a period of 6,000 years. What about modern psychology? Hardly 200 years. They may claim a lot of things. But the depth, the clear understanding, the mind with reference to yourself, the mind with reference to the problems and the challenges. They named it as impurity. You name it as anxiety, stress, and you go on reading abnormal psychology, there are more than 3,000 illnesses. And what happens, the more you read, what happens? The more you read, then you find lot of symptoms in you. And then what happens? Impure mind. Impure mind. And what the Eastern psychology says, you have to start with the peace. Can any human being is there who is not ready to practice the relaxation and move into the peace and happiness? I always say, keep aside I have understood, I have taken your history, entire history. So I normally take entire history, and then I said, okay, leave aside everything. Let us do the practice of relaxation. It will take only you 7, 8, 9 minutes. Let us see what happens. Are you relaxed? Yes. I said, let us do the second practice. So the greatest misery that we have in this modern world is that I always feel myself miserable. Miserable at work, miserable with honey, miserable with kids. Always miserable. This is God has a special treatment. Don't do that, please. Not only this entire understanding is the journey of the meditation. but experiencing, setting your mind, your intellect, committed to bring about a change is what the purpose of life is. No, I cannot give you $1 million. I cannot tell you the tips and tricks that you can find from others. But this treasure is much more than $1 billion. Do you really feel it? Does your mind really commit to it? That I'm not ready to compromise my life. I don't want to go away from my peace. Come what may. Can you commit to yourself? The life changes. This is another principle the Eastern wisdom talks about, that I should have a tremendous commitment to myself. I know we have a lot of commitment. Honey, you don't listen to me. I'll divorce you. Divorce. What about you, man? My boss is crazy. Why we have to say all these things? Even if my boss is crazy, can it change me? No. But still my mind repeats. Why I said this, and then we'll start with the practice. If your mind continues to behave in these ways, with the impure mind, impure intellect, and the impure ego. So 1 week, you feel, oh, this is a good meditation practice. In 6 days, you are same again, return again. That is why I'm saying. I know maybe one of you will say, no, if my boss is crazy, then I said, let him remain crazy. Then what? We don't want to leave that. We want to prove how other person is wrong. Meditation is not for those people. You will not improve. You have to change your mindset. Let us start our journey. Close your eyes. Sit or lie down. Guided meditation. Guided meditation with a smile on the face. Don't get upset with me, even though I make people upset sometimes. No, that is my profession. If I don't make people upset, they don't want to change. What should I do then? First I make upset, then I say sorry, then I say, okay, continue the practice. So, eyes are closed. And just be comfortable, my friends. Being comfortable and easy, carefree. But we will do something. Take a deep breath into the belly and the chest and start doing the humming sound 9 times. Louder, deeper and longer. Commit to yourself. Do it louder, deeper and longer. stop this. We discussed you have to learn from your own experiences, look inside the head, become aware, and see, did your experience change little bit? Do you experience little bit of settling down? And there we remember the principle, contemplate. Upanishad, sitting nearby, home, sitting nearby yourself. So how to sit nearby yourself? Look at the body. Just see and check that it is comfortable. Look at the neck joint and feel the sensation and be comfortable. Look at the hip joints. Well, you can do in any sequence. It's not a big deal. Because the mind pervades the entire body. Looking at the hip joint. So what happens when you look at it? You feel it is yours. So when you feel, you have a sensation. When you have a sensation, mind says it is comfortable. Make sure it is comfortable. If it is not, you can adjust and align. And then it is comfortable. You also find one more experience. It is steady. Why it is steady? The impure mind makes your body crazy. And now it is becoming pure. What the pure mind? Pure mind said, I'm not worried about your body. Let it be, let it keep lying down in this position. You see the point, how clear the understanding of those great teachers. And then look at the shoulder joints. Again, understanding, feeling, sensation, being comfortable and steady. So now the mind instantly becomes pure and it can become instantly impure. You know why and how. So ankle joints and the toes, the entire body is comfortable. So the first point, sitting nearby yourself. Sitting nearby is a metaphor. You can say you are near yourself. So you are near your body. That's why you feel the sensation. You are comfortable and steady. The second point is with commitment. What commitment you need? You want to be miserable in your life? Or you want to refuse to be miserable in your life? 1, 2. What is the commitment? Commitment is to find my true nature in meditation. To discover and awaken to peace and happiness. We always shy to say this, and that to ourselves. How many times you have said to yourself, you have lived your life 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Have you ever said this? Say to yourself, within looking deep inside the head, my goal of my life is to discover peace and happiness within. Pay attention, discover, not create peace. The science creates rest and peace and relaxation by changing the physiology, the biochemistry, the drugs by sedation and intoxication. They create it. What we are doing? Discovering. That is the key point. And then the last thing, with a commitment to destroy, to bring an end to the suffering in my life and to live in peace and happiness. That is the journey of any meditation or mindfulness, my friends. So we have done the 2 steps and still the mind remains impure. I have already explained you the impurity of the mind, the intellect, the ego, and the mind step. So we'll purify by the second and the third step with the breath. So just breathe long in the hissing breath through the nostrils. Forget about whether you're breathing from the belly or the chest. Long. And the hissing breath, my friend. Continue. Your mind will object in the beginning, in the middle. The mind will say, no, it is too much, I cannot do it. You see that? That is the impure intellect. And you know what should you do? You should continue. Let us continue. No movement in the body. Long in the hissing breath. Your mind will definitely say you. Your intellect will definitely say you. No, if something happens, always good will happen. You already committed yourself. What else you need? Yes, commitment. Continue. You may start feeling some experiences and changes inside the head, in the body. Some deepening of the sensations. Continue, my friend. Continue. Do not stop in the middle. Do not stop in the middle. Continue. Let the mind resist and you don't listen to your mind. Why? That is why it is guided meditation. You borrow my mind, you keep your mind aside. Why? To change. To change, my friend. Let us see what happens. Continue. Continue. Long in the hissing breath. Do not stop in the middle. And stop it. Thank you, my friends. You did the right thing. You see, you have a lot of stress going to a workplace, for example, and still you don't stop going to the workplace. And then you say, no, I have a lot of stress in the office. But here, you committed yourself. It will change from the stress to the silence. That is why we did it for 2 minutes. And now we will again learn from the experience. That becomes our next step. Look at the head and the neck. Move the mind on the head and the neck again. And experience the sensation that is deeper, relaxation, and the stillness. Before I continue, but understand that in this journey of mindfulness and self-discovery, you will undergo a variety of experiences. Where are those? Sinking of the body into the floor, rising up, tingling, numbness, body freezes down, you may feel cool and hot, vision, the colors, lot of things. What should you do? Do nothing. Let them come and accept. The body freezes down, it's okay. Let it happen. You continue the journey with a disclaimer. You didn't tell me if you have any challenges or problems. But now look at the right arm. Feel the sensation, relaxation, and the stillness. Move the mind on the left arm. Now move slowly. That will deepen your experience. Take the mind to the left shoulder, then slowly move on the skin, reach to the elbow. Dead slow movement from the elbow to the wrist, then from the wrist to the fingers. And now see, you have consciously deepening the sensation. And what is this sensation? According to the Eastern wisdom, this is prana, this is life force. And in that life force, you experience the relaxation and the stillness. How easy, my friend. I've been telling, when I started this journey from the last year, that I must talk about these principles which I have learned from my Himalayan master for years and years of time I spent with him, 26 years. Look at the right leg. Can you move the mind slowly on the right leg? You see, it's a dispassionate moving. What is dispassionate moving? You're not attached to anything. Casually you move your mind on the right leg from the right side of the waist to the toes. And suddenly there is an experience of sensation, relaxation in the stillness. There's a lot of explanation and understanding that why you feel the sensation, why you experience the relaxation, from where it comes. We'll talk about in the following session. Look at the left leg. Move the mind slowly on the left leg. What is this? You feel the sensation, relaxation, and the stillness. Chest and the belly, sensation, relaxation, and the stillness. One point that you should know that when the mind begins going within, it can move first horizontally inside and it continue to maintain that state. So you may have a conscious right thinking, but still it is better. Or your mind may fall down into unconsciousness, the way we fall in love. And at last, you already know it. And the third option is that your mind starts rising up. So what happens when the water rises into the sky? It becomes vapor and the water is lost. Mind will be lost. That is the highway to the meditative state. Another option is also possible, that when you are in a journey, your mind may be thinking unnecessary, unwanted. It means today the mind is not purified. So you have to share your experiences, because that will help you, not me. It also helps me. So live into that state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Now the mind is living within. So we have to continue the journey. Many ways. Let us take one way today. Look at the breath. The breath goes in and out. Consider the breath as a highway. Highway, Route 9 highway. And awareness is driving there. That is why you are aware of the breath going in and out. And what is that highway on the surface? It is the body. Body is parked. It is not moving. Now in that highway, we'll make the mind subtle, and then we will release. We will see what happens. We'll explore. It's a discovery. So when the breath goes in, let the mind drop, soham. The sound, soham. Breath comes out, soham. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. The mind goes in, soham, comes out, soham. Condition, no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. In the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So easy. You are driving on a cruise on the highway of the breath, if I say so. I'm using the metaphor. It makes you easy to understand. So breath is on the cruise. You are driving, you are sitting there and dropping soham. Breath goes in, soham, comes out, soham. In the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And then we will explore what happens if we do it. I have found over the years the journey to the meditation is the easiest thing to do in your life. Anytime, anywhere. Now, you're living within, the mind is within. When you speak a sentence or a phrase with your vocal cord and larynx, with the lips and the tongue, it takes time. But when you do it mentally, the time is reduced maybe thousands of times, thousands of seconds. So what you should be doing? Simple. The moment the breath goes in, drop to Soham. The breath returns, Soham, Soham. Breath goes in, Soham, Soham. But you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. You may be thinking, or you may be understanding as if this is such a simple way, but no, even if it is simple, it helps your mind to become subtle and subtle and subtle, and then transcend it. That is the process we are following. But in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness, in the state of not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath, and deeper inside, Soham, Soham, breath goes in, comes out, Soham, Soham, goes in, Soham, Soham, comes out, Soham, Soham. Mentally you are saying it. You know, when the mind becomes subtle, what happens? That is what we are exploring. Continue, my friends. Your mind will say how difficult it is to drop to Soham. No, that is the impure mind. Now drop 3 Soham when the breath goes in, when the breath comes out. Soham, Soham, Soham. And after all, you are saying it mentally. And when we speak mentally, one master used to say, Soham 27 times in one normal breath. I'm only saying 3 times. When the mind is too much impure, then it doesn't happen. So it will also be a self-check. You see the point? That is the key. Continue. 3 times. Breath is going, dropping, Soham, Soham, Soham. Breath comes out, Soham, Soham, Soham. And you perceive it. When you do it 3 times, that perceiving Soham is doing Soham. And don't you, when you're driving and you passes through the different malls and you are able to see the words, the name of the store. You see it, you do it. I know it. You're doing the same thing here. Not a big deal. Now return to two Soham. We are in a descending process. The breath is the same, but when you do two Soham, you discover an infinite space. You find out, oh, still there are a lot of space there. That is the key. Two Soham, breath goes in. Soham, Soham, breath comes out. Soham, Soham. In the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness in the body, when the body is parked, you may suddenly experience a tremendous experiences in the body. The tingling, the rising of the body, the sinking into the floor. Breath goes in, Soham, Soham. Breath comes out, Soham, Soham. And you will experience as if you are too far from the body. What happens in deep sleep? You're not at all aware of the body, you're not at all aware of the mind, but here you are aware. That is a deeper state. Continue. Now only one Soham. Breath is the same, body is the same. Now you experience a kind of liberation. Oh, it is so natural. Breath goes in, Soham, breath comes out, Soham. Continue, my friends. Everything is natural. No force. And now doing nothing. Yes, my friends, live into the state of doing nothing and learn from your own experiences. Somewhere the impure mind jumps and it moves the body. Somewhere the impure mind returns and it brings in the thought. Now, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Means let there be peace, peace and peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness slowly on the right hand. Be there for a while and experience what is happening to this right palm. Move the mind on the left palm. That makes you learn from your own experiences, my friends. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Gently open the eyes inside the palms. Now ask yourself, you're communicating to yourself. I gave an example of that beautiful woman who I asked her, say, now you can communicate with yourself. What happened? What is your experience? What are your challenges? We will discuss. Bring the hands down. Sit up. Let us share our experiences now. How are you, my friend?
I was good. I was a little nervous that nothing was going to happen because my mind has got a lot of stuff going on and I was gone.
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 Yeah.
Really good.
You see that? Still, okay. Continue to live with your honey. How are you, my friend?
Very relaxed, very peaceful.
Very peaceful.
After 10 minutes, I didn't even hear you.
Ah, that's good. You know, I'm very careful, I never say disclaimer. So I told you that there may be an experience as if your body is rising up. It happens, it may happen. But there is no fan there, so that's why I say, okay, I need not to say disclaimer. Otherwise, how are you, my friend?
That was just so intense.
Intense and peace and calm.
I don't know about peace and calm. Intense. There was so many sensations.
Wonderful.
And I wanted to get up so badly, and I just had to stay with your voice.
Wonderful.
And let whatever I was feeling, just be with it.
Just be. That is the wonderful.
So intense.
So intense. I like it. Your regular practice is doing this. How are you, my friend?
A little numbness.
Numbness is okay. Don't worry about it.
My feet, my hands.
Yeah. It will go away after some time.
Yeah.
That's another example, that's another sign that when the mind withdraws completely from the body, what happens in deep sleep? You are not at all aware of the body. But in meditation, you are fully aware. So let it happen. If it doesn't go, then let me know. You are already into the same profession, yes. How are you, my friend?
Very good.
Good? Calm? Peace? Good. Thank you, my friend. How are you?
Very relaxed.
Very
Very
good.
calm.
How are you, my friend?
I feel wonderful. I haven't felt so good in years since I started coming here and doing this.
Since years. That's a good expression. You have to continue the journey to get out of these challenges that you have. It will go away. Yeah? See that? How are you, another, my friend? Yes.
Okay, I'm good. I learned how to ignore sensations. They went away.
They went away.
Scratching my face or something.
Yes, yes. Yes, there are a lot of things, I'll speak sometime. When you say ignore, I can really understand. That's a good point. And regular practice will help you even when you are not ignoring, you are in peace. That is the state. That is the point of meditation. We'll achieve that. How are you?
Very relaxed.
Very relaxed. Wonderful. How are you?
Very peaceful.
Very peaceful. How are you, my friend? Good?
Yep.
I'm good. You are good. Practice is good. Experience. What is good?
Good. Like I was completely out, and then I felt my arm like numb, and
No.
that was good.
Yes, yes. I'll explain you a bit after sharing. How are you, my friend?
Relax. Yeah.
Relax,
My
calm.
body is like, it's like, hard to explain. It's like filled up with water.
Fill of water? Yeah, I was near you. I was filling with water.
Well, I don't know. It's like,
Yes, that's a very good. That's what we say. One master used to talk about plasticity of the body. Plasticity. So we talk of the neuroplasticity where you change the structure and the function of the brain. So one great master, I can name that master, who lived until 1950. He did a lot of work on that. The plasticity in the body. So then that's you experience as if the body is totally fluid and full of water. So that breaks the limitations of the mind. And what is ego? Limitation. So it breaks the chain of ego and then you rise above. That's a wonderful sense of. So, my friends, the journey of the meditation is a journey. Understand that part. It's not a destination. Every destination gives you a pleasure, and the pleasure is short lived. And if you don't practice meditation, the impure mind says, come on, seek the pleasure again. Go to the same restaurant. Go to the same honey. Yeah, wear this. So impure mind constantly craves for the pleasure, or it escapes. It wants to escape. Say, for example, if you hate me, I believe you don't do that. You don't hate me. But if you believe, so what your mind says keep a distance, go away, don't talk. So that impure mind has to change. It makes the intellect impure. Then the ego, we say, in our tradition, we say there is a ripe ego and there is an unripe ego. A beautiful explanations. It's a 6,000 years old journey. So what is unripe ego? I know everything. I'm very big because I have lot of money. I live into that. I have a great position. And what is ripe ego? Ripe ego, everything happens through the existence. The peace is within me. I have to discover peace and happiness. So when the mind starts saying this, 24/7, even in the midst of any wrong, negative event, at least you are on the journey to the meditation. You will never leave it. It is such a beautiful journey. Yeah?